Good Saturday morning, and welcome to the Place to Be Reviews. I am Itapukuian, and today we have a big slate of videos planned. I am going full-on Mike Zero. I'm not going to be giving you Star Wars news from the future. Well, that's partially true. But I do have a lot of videos to do today, so I figured after much procrastination and about a pot and a half of coffee this morning, I'm ready to go. So this article is from Slate Magazine, Skillfully Orchestrated Chaos. This is the first time I've actually been on Slate's website. I hope my computer doesn't get AIDS. Let's shut this little stupid ad down. This is about the Obi Wan Kenobi movie. Now, cautious optimism is the most I can say. Not Obi Wan Kenobi movie, I'm sorry. Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series now is what they're going with. So I would have been happier with the movie, but I also would have been happier if George Lucas, the Allfather, never sold Lucasfilm to the evil empire of the mouse. The House of Mouse. But let's talk about Obi-Wan and the show here. Forget the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Now there's reportedly an entire series in the works. Hello there! There's Ewan McGregor. And Ewan McGregor was probably my favorite part of the prequel trilogy, outside of like the clones. Because I like the Clone Wars TV show. I still haven't finished watching the entire thing. It was like season 5. I was late to the party on that. I didn't watch it when it was on. I had a lot. There was, it's just one of those things. I had a lot going on, and I started watching it with my son, and we both really like it. And I like the development more of the characters, especially Count Dooku, who is my favorite character, pretty much in all of Star Wars mythos. Fight me. No, I really like the arc he took, except the ending. But the ending in the novelization is much different than the movie. So anyway, I could go off on cutaways about this, but anyway. My enthusiasm for Star Wars really is very, very strong. The problem being I don't like anything outside of Rogue One that's come out since Disney took over. I really don't. It's all been just cash grab garbage. And we could talk about that all day, but let's focus on this right now because this is actually like a 2-part video. Because after this, Obi-Wan, we're going to talk about the Star Wars Resistance. I can't even say that with a straight face. Sip of water for the working man. I forgot to put the sticker on here. I'm putting Place to Be Review stickers on my Yeti cups now, so my co-host Monica made them up. Thank you, they're awesome. So Ewan McGregor has signed on. I believe he signed a contract. This was reported yesterday. This article is from 752 this morning by Marissa Martinelli. Talk about a new hope. Though the news has not been confirmed by Disney, several outlets are reporting that actor Ewan McGregor is currently in talks to reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars series for the company's upcoming streaming service, Disney+. McGregor's performance as a young version of the character originally played by Sir Alec Guinness, she neglected that title, who received an Academy Award nomination for his portrayal, was one of the bright spots in the franchise's prequel trilogy, beginning with The Phantom Menace in 1999 through Revenge of the Sith in 2005. And I will say this, one of the bright spots, there was a lot of bright spots. The world development that the Allfather George Lucas put into these world, Kashyyyk and Naboo, and going back, and Tatooine is just... It was gorgeous. Like, he put so much work into this. If you watch any of the behind-the-scenes stuff, it's so much better than this garbage that Disney's putting out now. It was the time and care. And looking back after what we've got now, going back to 1999 when the Phantom Menace came out, I have a lot more appreciation for that movie. I never hated that movie. Let me say this. I never hated that movie when it came out. I didn't hate any of the prequels. I never hated on the prequels. Once you figured out what they were, and it was brilliant storytelling by George Lucas. The delivery was a bit wonky at times, of course, the dialogue in Attack of the Clones, but Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan, there was so much good stuff going on outside of the main storyline that you got to see. It was just great. We'll talk about that more later. There's a lot we still don't know about this project, like what time period it would take place in or when it would be released, and like Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar, we've been burned before. Rumors of a standalone movie focused on McGregor's character have been swirling for years, but Solo, a Star Wars story... His underwhelming performance at the box office in 2018 reportedly led Lucasfilm to put the development of any additional spin-off films on hold. Then Boris Johnson, of all people, renewed hope in the movie last year when he mentioned that George Lucas had been scouting film locations in Northern Ireland for the follow-up biopic of the life of Obi Wan Kenobi during a speech about Brexit. Isn't that just something? It's possible that the biopic Johnson referred to may actually be the series rather than a movie. McGregor has publicly expressed his interest in returning to the role before, many times. A show about the Jedi Master would be one of several new Star Wars-related projects planned for Disney Plus, which launches in November. In addition to making all of the existing Star Wars films available in one place, the service would also be home to 2 confirmed live-action Star Wars series. The Mandalorian, and a Rogue One prequel, which is a Cassian Andor show, which nobody asked for, nobody wants. We know how a story ends. We don't need anything else about Cassian Andor. Diego Luna, while a great actor, the character was not compelling. Although I liked the movie, it just was not compelling enough for me to want more of Cassian Andor. I would rather see Baze Malbit and Sheard Imwe show, as well as a new season of the animated series Star Wars The Clone Wars, which was canceled shortly after Disney acquired Lucasfilm, but is being revived thanks in part to a years-long fan campaign. Clone Wars was canceled because it was violent. That was it. Disney thought it was too violent. It wasn't too violent. It was a great show. We're not going to talk about that right now because we have so much more to do here. Let's go back to this last paragraph here. Okay, so The Mandalorian, that's got my interest. Disney Plus, I am not going to subscribe to it, but I will be watching it because, well, the same way I watch Netflix. I'm one of those guys. I'm at the end of the account. So I'll have Hulu and Disney Plus, which I already have ESPN, so I don't really care. I don't really watch much sports ball anymore, just my Detroit Lions, but that's it. Little Yankees here and there. So let's see here. Is there anything else in this article? Pole vaulter Allison Stokes going to talk about the photo homes ended her career. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. So this, like I said, cautious optimism. I don't want to get too hopeful for this because number one, it's Disney. Number two, we were supposed to get this movie. This is the movie we should have gotten instead of Alden Peckerwood in Soylo, a Soy War story, which was nothing but here's how he got his blaster, here's how he got his dice, that nobody fucking cared about. Nobody cared about that shit. Really, there's probably like a handful of people, honestly. But it was like, he had it, cool. It's like, do you really want to know how the soup is made? You don't. You don't need it. But Obi-Wan, we do. We really do, because people want that. He's more, I'm not saying Han Solo wasn't a great character, because Harrison Ford's portrayal of Han Solo is nothing short of amazing. He's great. That was his role. He owned it. Alden Peckerwood, not so much. The dude is forgettable. And I could go to his IMDb right now, and I guarantee you there's not one more project on there than the last fucking time I did it. So I'm not going to do it again. Let's get over to Star Wars Resistance now. Obi-Wan, we're hopeful for. So let's go to ScreenRant.com. Why Star Wars Resistance was canceled after only 2 seasons. I'll read through this article by Sarah Moran from this morning. Yeah. Star Wars Resistance will end on Season 2, but why is Disney canceling the animated series after just 2 years? Star Wars Resistance is only the latest canon animated series set in a galaxy far, far away, following on from Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Didn't like Rebels. Like those earlier shows, Resistance sends its characters on adventures set either near or during live-action Star Wars movies, often filling in gaps of the story or providing another perspective to well-known events. We know how that goes. We don't need that. Star Wars Resistance began just before Star Wars The Force Awakens, with Season 1 culminating in the First Order's destruction of Hosnian Prime. It follows Kazuda Kaz Ziono, Christopher Sean, an aspiring Resistance fighter, recruited by Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac, to act as a spy while on the fueling station Colossus, under the cover of a mechanic working for Jarek Yeager, Scott Lawrence, who is himself a former rebel. Kaz uncovers the First Order's plans to control Colossus, needing its fuel to further their plans. Kaz and his allies manage to drive the First Order off Colossus, eventually launching the station in order to escape, but not before witnessing a holobid of Starkiller Base destroying the Republic's capital system. This show sucked. All right, it fucking sucked, and I'm gonna get to my comment and my reasoning behind this. let's just read this next paragraph, and then we're going to go over and watch the trailer, because I don't want this video to get too long. Star Wars Resistance 2, Season 2 will pick up with Colossus and its crew lost in space and unable to meet up with the larger Resistance. As they try locating another planet on which to land, they'll face bounty hunters, pirates, and more. All while, sounds like they're borrowing that from the Clone Wars. All while still being pursued by the First Order. And similar to how Resistance Season 1 is set up during the same time frame as The Force Awakens, Season 2 is happening simultaneously to Star Wars The Last Jedi. Resistance Season 2 will also lead into the events of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. This is, from a story standpoint, why it makes sense for Star Wars Resistance will end with Season 2. There is nowhere left for the story to go after Star Wars 9. Okay, so they're tying each season in. All right, let me backtrack this. They're tying each season in with a movie. All right, so season 2 will tie into Last Jedi. So they could technically do another season and tie it in with The Rise of Skywalker. But the show fucking sucks, and it's not selling, and nobody's buying it, nobody's watching it. So they're going to end it, and they won't admit it. Fuck you, Disney Star Wars. These characters are just shit. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see here. Let's read this last paragraph, then we'll go over to the fucking. I want to see how long this video is going here. Let's see how long. We're going to see. All right, whatever. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is not only the end of a 9-film Skywalker saga, it's also likely the end of Resistance. Whichever way the conflict between the Resistance and the First Order ends, there will probably be no need for Resistance post Rise of Skywalker. They'll either have won and freed the galaxy from the First Order's tyranny and therefore no longer need to resist, or they'll lose and be wiped out. And while it's the first option that is far more likely to happen, either way, the Resistance becomes irrelevant after Star Wars 9, essentially making a Star Wars Resistance Season 3 equally irrelevant. This author has no fucking idea what Star Wars is. Let's see. Of course, there's also the show's popularity to consider while explaining why Star Wars Resistance is being canceled just after 2 seasons. Unlike both Clone Wars and Rebels, Resistance isn't a big hit, there we go, with adult Star Wars fans. By its very nature, Resistance is aimed at younger audience and doesn't delve too deeply into more dilemmas of Star Wars lore as the previous animated series. That's just fine for keeping Star Wars in the public eye between films and selling toys. It doesn't sell fucking toys! But not so much for cultivating a devoted fan base, and the ratings show that. Alright. So she does give a little bit more reasoning why the show's being fucking canceled. Alright, let's get to the trailer here. Because this video is kind of dragging on. So we're 2:39 here. Let's go. And I've already disliked it because yeah. If it'll play here, but there we go.
Everyone back to the Colossus!
Stabilizers hit!
Use a little help! Get us into space a huge risk.
Our only way to escape.
Oh, that's what we need.
It's going to be hard to keep this nation together with the First Order at our backs.
We're running low on everything.
Food, water, even fuel.
Please, be patient.
I hated that green
We're in the
fucking
middle of a war.
alien.
And you can thank your captains for that.
The Colossus deserves a new home. We have to work together if we're gonna survive.
We only take orders from one tyrant, Captain Kragan.
Tabra, if you are to rise in the ranks, I will require your total
I believe that's the one from
Yes,
Inferno Squad.
She is key to finding
I didn't watch the end of the series.
Fail, and I will see to your execution personally.
They're everywhere. Entire planets are just giving up.
It's just like the Empire when I was a kid.
How did they know how to find us?
Get as far away as you can. There are bounty hunters who might be coming. We're gonna die!
Just act casual and keep a low profile.
I was a spy. I'm a master at keeping a low profile.
This guy's a doofus.
Most
Yeah.
impressive.
I trust the Aces can handle this.
forces.
I think she's the one in charge.
Ooh, you're quick.
See, they just make him look fucking
What is
stupid.
this place? I don't recognize all of these symbols.
It's a power source from an ancient time.
The epic conclusion.
has returned.
The resistance is proving to be stronger than we anticipated.
Nothing about this is compelling.
I got him!
We're good to go. Punch it!
If you are not capable of dealing with them, then I will find someone who can.
Oh boy, Kylo Ren. And see that that premieres the same night as Walking Dead. But you know what? I will DVR it. Ha ha ha. And I will watch it. But I just I said this is my comment on here, and I said this show is and was a horribly animated dumpster fire. You can just read the comment. Go to the trailer yourself and read it. It's a paragraph. But I'm waiting for the hate to start. This trailer was it was bad. This show's bad. It's getting canceled because nobody wants it, not because they don't want to continue it. Because trust me, if Disney could squeeze a penny out of this, they would. But they know it's failing. So that's it. I love Star Wars, but I hate where it's going, and I'm not going to see Episode 9 because, as the Overlord Doomcock says, without respect, we reject. And they are not respecting the fans at all. So, yeah. This is video number 1. We got a lot more coming today, so please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you watched Star Wars Resistance, or if you didn't, what you think of it, what you think of my opinions, or especially the Kenobi show, Disney Plus, is it going to happen, or are they just blowing smoke and trying to establish some goodwill towards the fans before this Disney Plus service launches? I am Itepu Kuni, the place to be reviews. I will be back later on with another video.